Hi, my life with CPS. Total number. That's all they make it for you. You might as well be like in a scary nightmare and you can't wake up from it. You know, we've moved here for about a month now. No CPS people knocking on our doors. Why? Because we don't have any children. If we do have children, believe me, they're going to send a CPS person to your door within 10 days of the birth, knocking on your door, trying to find out what's going on, what are you doing, and what's going on with you and your children, with your child. You know, it's like total harassment, invasion of privacy. Now, I know that you wouldn't bother anybody from KKK. I don't think you'll be knocking on their door because they'd probably be having a cross right there at your door the next day. I don't think you're going to mess with people like that. Nope. You don't bother people that are blue collared. As long as they can pay for the insurance, you're not knocking on their door. This doctor gave me pills that caused me to have high blood pressure. Caused me to have diabetes. Didn't have those problems before she threw the pills at me. Then she had some nerve to sit up there and say, well, she can't keep her diabetes under control. This doctor came to my room, wished me a happy birthday, insisted that I have a slice of cake, and then called CPS and said, she's eating a slice of cake. She can't keep herself under control. But yet, I never asked her to come to my room and wish me a happy birthday. I already had my birthday with people that I love, that I respect, that I know. But I got these strangers walking into the room with balloons, wishing me a happy birthday, handing me gifts. And I'm just like, what are you doing in my room? Because if you know you're going to hurt people, why bother to smile on their face? Why didn't you just leave me alone, ignore me, get out of my way? Then, on the original report, it said nobody visit me at the hospital. Well, that's untrue. Michael, my best friend, Saunders, along with his brother David and his wife came to visit me. But I guess they didn't acknowledge them, or maybe their diets worked too well, because I guess they didn't see 500, 600 pounds floating through the door of people visiting me. Another thing that really bothers me the most is that she kept giving me insulin, and that causes your sugar level to go up. I was keeping a beautiful diet. Sarah Hahn at Swedish Hospital can verify that. But I think if they would have minused all the drugs they gave to me, I think that everything would have been just fine. I think that it's a scam that this doctor commits. I think most doctors all over the United States, they pick up the phone, they contact CPS, and they start troubling people's lives. But they do it for a reason. Because what they want to do is take the people that are middle class, lower middle class, and keep them at the bottom. So that way they can't afford to really live. Because all the taxpayers are paying for it. People that work at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, you know, people that are janitors that can't afford to really live, that can't afford a house, they're keeping them poor. And that's what they're doing. They're scamming the poor people. At the same time, Swedish completely ignored me. And at the same time, I had no respect for Swedish. So when I was in labor with my son, and Swedish Hospital was 7 blocks away, and they said, oh, this hospital will be a lot closer than the University of Washington, I said, do not take me to that seasonal kidnapping hospital establishment. Take me someplace where I know I'm going to walk out with my child. But with my second child, I shouldn't have felt like, wow, do I have to call 911 in order to take my son home? You know, my beautiful, beautiful little boy, Sir Justin. But I was really traumatized, especially when I was at University of Washington and they offered the same test that they did at Swedish. I said, hell no, you're not going to do that to me. And if you don't like it, kiss my derriere. I was up in their face, and I had no respect for them whatsoever when I went in there, because I'm like, you know what, no matter what I do for you people, you're going to call CPS anyway. And believe me, they're checking in behind my back with Swedish Hospital. Yes, the troublemakers of my life. The same cowards that hide. Now, Del P. Reisner, if somebody came into your office and they're from Hell's Angel, would you have taken their child away? No, I don't think you would. Especially if they could pay the full medical bill by cash. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be harassing them to death. But I wonder how many Black African Americans out there are harassed. Oh, especially if you're poor and you've got beautiful children. If your children are just beautiful, they're hell-bent on taking them away from you. They'll give you drugs, and they'll make sure that your unborn child is addicted to the drugs. And then they'll call CPS and say, oh, she's on drugs. But they don't like to mention that they gave you the drugs. Anyway, from day one, all my paperwork had been ignored in court. All of it was just looked at and set aside. The judge admitted that when I was in court. She goes, oh, we're not familiar with the case. We have no idea what's going on. Oh, wow. You've been bothering me for almost 6 years? 6 years and some odd months, and you don't understand what's been going on? For the first 3 years, from 2002 all the way up to 2006. I wasn't even allowed to say one single word in court. So I submit documentation, paperwork, information, the people's names, their numbers, their fax numbers, and you didn't have time to look at it? Oh, that's right. I've had about, what, a dozen judges? A dozen. See, when it gets to be too hard for one judge, they pass it to the next judge, and the next judge, and the next judge. And when your lawyers fail to speak up and you really rip them a new butt, then all of a sudden they want to leave the case. They want to abandon the case. And then you've got all these people that leave and they go, but yet they're just so worried and concerned, but they're so gone out the door. Wow, that's really being so worried and concerned that every person who started this has stepped off the case, leaving substitutes in their place. Well, can we be a substitute family and leave too? I don't think so, because you're not going to stop harassing us. Why? Because of Del P. Reisner. Now, that's not a man. That's a woman. A woman who is a total coward, who has mental problems. Because I heard that she's had a little bit of a breakdown, that she's lost her mind. But you know what? At the same time, why wasn't she woman enough? I mean, I'm talking this woman's half a century old. Can't jump up in court and testify on her behalf. Why is it every time I went to court, she's a no-show? Because she likes to make trouble and then she likes to leave. Okay? Now, since they're so worried and concerned about everybody's children in the whole entire universe, okay, let's do it, America. Let's have every doctor, architect, accountant, let's have you pulled in for parenting classes. So you can go ahead and miss an hour here of work, an hour there of work. Let's go go in for therapy. Let's see. Let's have you go see a psychologist. Okay. Hey, actors that are making millions of dollars doing movies, since you're first-time parents, why doesn't CPS bother you and say, I wonder if this person's ready to be a parent? Let's go ahead and have each and every person in America get educated by CPS needs. Because for one, when poor Michael Jackson moved out of his house in Neverland, the reason he moved is because you tainted his house. You took the joy, you snapped the joy, you snapped the happiness, the love, the caring out of his house. That's what you did. You completely took the love out of that man's house. You walked on his grave.